Today, we have what I consider to be a pretty darn exciting video, because it represents another big brand dipping their toes into the world of premium home espresso, and this time it is a big one. Ninja. Very well known for their blenders, air fryers, and of course the super viral Creamy, I was eager to see what their first foray into the complex world of home espresso machines would offer. And this is it, the Ninja Lux Cafe. If at any point you want to check out this machine, I will of course have it linked down in the description below so you can check your local pricing. But before we get going, an important disclaimer. This first look video is being done in collaboration with Ninja. So for that reason, I'm going to leave any comparisons to competitor brands or really even expressing a strong purchasing recommendation for a later independent video once I have had more hands-on time with the machine. So be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on that. This video will be an overview of just the machine's features, a demo of making a few drinks, and some of my observations over the first week or so of having the Lux Cafe in my kitchen. So with all that out of the way, let's dive in. Starting off with my initial impressions of the physical machine itself. It definitely has a unique look and shape. Its square, modern design sort of sits in between semi-automatic and super automatic machines currently on the market. After the appearance, the next thing I noticed about the Lux Cafe while unboxing and setting it up was just the emphasis on workflow and convenience that Ninja put into the design. Everything has its place. The dosing funnel, tamper, extra baskets, back flushing disc, all have a dedicated storage location on the physical machine itself, leaving your counter and surrounding cabinets clear of any espresso related knickknacks, which if you own an espresso machine, you know is a very common occurrence. On the user interface itself, there is a lot going on. Personally, I found it a bit cluttered and overwhelming at first glance, but there is a method to the madness. The left side of the UI is dedicated to the grinder and espresso style drinks, while the right side of the machine is then used for milk steaming and full-sized hot and cold drinks. The machine senses which of the two included baskets is installed in the portafilter and only allows you to select those drinks that are appropriate for it. Speaking of the portafilter, this is going to be the most jarring part of the Lux Cafe for people who have used a traditional espresso machine in the past. This thing is weirdly shaped, but it's for a reason in that not only is the Lux Cafe making traditional espresso, but it's also capable of brewing full-sized cups of drip coffee or even rapid cold brew style drinks. So let's dive into the actual brewing experience, make a couple drinks, and talk about the features that differentiate the Lux Cafe from things we've seen in the past. Having a wide range of drink options is great. However, for those of you familiar with coffee extraction, you're likely aware that each different style of drink or even each different coffee bean requires careful setup to the grind size to get it flowing and tasting its best. This can be overwhelming for beginners, and if I was asked to switch between 3 different drinks back to back on the same machine, it would even be overwhelming for me. The Lux Cafe aims to solve this problem by intelligently recommending the grind size for you, as well as measuring the dose size with a built-in scale to keep it consistent. Each time you switch between drinks, you will see the recommended grind size change. You then manually move the dial to match, and you're ready to go. When setting up an entirely new coffee, you need to run 2 shots to let the machine calibrate itself to the flow rate of the new beans. Again, it does this automatically, so after each shot, you just adjust the grind size to the new suggestion, run another test shot until the machine is happy with those settings. Now, we've seen this kind of suggested grind size feature starting to pop up on some other machines, but to my knowledge, not on anything even close to at this price point. So let's see this thing in action, starting off with a basic double shot of espresso. With the double shot basket installed, I put on the dosing funnel, put the portafilter in the grinding cradle, and then select the double shot option. Then, if needed, I adjust the grind setting to match the suggestion and hit grind. Next, you tamp using the included spring-loaded palm tamper, lock in the portafilter to the group head, and hit go. The Lux Cafe can accommodate a wide range of cup or even travel mug sizes with its adjustable cup stand, but for this one we'll just use the highest setting as we don't want the espresso to splash all over the place. If we wanted to try a larger drink like a classic drip coffee, we would instead use the Lux basket to allow for more headspace. Again, select the drink, and this time the drink's size. Adjust the grind setting to the recommendation. Grind. Give the portafilter a little shake so the grounds are evenly distributed. Lock in the portafilter, and again, hit go. This style of drink will take a little bit longer and is more comparable to a low bypass pour over than say a typical Americano you'd be making if you only had a traditional espresso machine on hand. With the Lux basket, you can also make cold brew or cold pressed style extractions, which I need to play around with a little bit more, but they could be useful for something like mixing into cocktails. Last but not least, let's talk about steaming. Getting great quality milk is an integral part of any home cafe experience. You can either learn the proper technique or find a machine that does this for you. And as you might have guessed, the Lux Cafe opts to do the latter, allowing you to select your milk type and desired level of texture. However, it does this through a pretty unorthodox combination of a steam wand and a texturing whisk at the bottom of the milk picture. And initially I had pretty mixed feelings about this. On one hand, it allows for completely hands-free texturing and opens up the door for cold foamed drinks, which is something that most traditional espresso machines can't do. But it also means that you're relying on a whisk to incorporate air, which in my past experiences with whisk-based systems can't usually make the very fine microfoam required for pouring latte art. However, in my limited time playing around with this machine, it has been working surprisingly well. I have enjoyed the possibility of making cold foam drinks, seeing as it is the summer, and on the finest foam settings, the texture has been surprisingly good for finer drinks like lattes or flat whites. The whisk is providing more of a stirring and integrating function, more than an aggressive frothing that I was expecting. You can also choose to steam manually or with a different pitcher simply by lifting the pitcher off the base so that the whisk disengages. Again, I'm going to reserve my overall opinions of this machine for a later independent video. However, what I will say right now is that this is a very different approach to a home cafe experience from a huge brand that knows a lot about the home appliance space, and that is something I am 100% here for. It's trying to offer as many drink styles as possible, has a downright weird looking portafilter, and an unorthodox way of texturing milk. And guess what? It kind of works. For beginners, taking the guesswork and frustration out of making various drinks can be an invaluable feature. So if you're looking for an all-in-one home cafe solution, it's safe to say there is a new kid on the block. If you want to check out the Lux Cafe, again, I will have it linked down in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and be sure you subscribe so you don't miss our full review where we'll be putting the Lux Cafe up head to head against some of the current market leaders. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.